When I was teaching the thumb and finger style, I always use freight train. All the things I'm doing just there are all new moves for a beginner.
Can you take us one variation further, maybe harmonically or technically?
One of the most important things that I can give to a person starting this style who wants to play this way is...
This episode is sponsored by Gator Cases. Guitarists, like any other musician, value the advantages of proper protection for their gear. Guitars, amps, effects, and accessories all need safe transport and storage. Luckily, Gator's got you covered.
Yeah.
Tommy, there are a lot of videos online of you saying the best song to start learning fingerstyle with is Freight Train.
Freight Train,
Which
exactly.
did you learn from Chet or from Elizabeth Cotton? Or how did you learn
I
Freight
never
Train?
heard Elizabeth Cotton until probably the 70s, right? So I heard Chet in the early 60s, 62 I think it was, when I first heard him. But his original version of Freight Train was here in E. Right?
Yeah.
And then the key change.
Yes.
Well, basically, with when I was teaching the thumb and finger style, I always use freight train, wheels, and windy and warm. I always use those as my first choice to teach somebody, and I would teach them the real simple version, right, and stay on G. That's how the original went. And all the things I'm doing just there are all new moves for a beginner. You know, to go, just that. Like, wow, what's that? We know it's just E7th, but... And then the rocking bar. They've never done that before.
Yeah.
There's all these little things that they're learning just from learning a simple song like Freight Train, you know. And Elizabeth Cotton's version is so unbelievable because she's playing upside down.
She's playing upside down.
And it's like, but there you go. She found what works for her.
So what is your arrangement? Can you play the simplest arrangement of Freight Train, the entry-level version? What is the entry-level version of Freight Train?
The entry level, well, I was just playing it.
Yeah, that was it.
I don't change to the D minor there. I stay on the G. E, there's F, and there you go. Right? So
Beautiful.
It's the first time that a person has to play an F with their thumb over the top.
Yeah.
So this is the beginning of so many things in this style that they're going to need. You know, like. So what I discovered is that one of the most important things that I can give to a person starting this style who wants to play this way is exercises. You know what I mean? Like so I invent an exercise which could be, and I'm just making this up right now, but it could be something like... Something like that, where the thumb has to go over the top. You know what I mean? And then things like that Merle Travis sound.
Yes.
So an E with a third in the bass. You know, Travis played an E7 like that. Right?
Yeah.
It's like a fistful of chord.
Right.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
The original version of 9 Pound Hammer started like this. For that 9 pound hammer, it's a little too heavy, right? When he went to the A, he stayed on the E bass, and it just sounded different. It sounded like honky-tonk music. Whereas when Chet played a tune like that, when he went to the A, he would feature the A bass, right? So the rule in general is whatever chord you're in, the first note should be the root
Of the
note.
bar. The first note of the bar should be the root note.
It should be a E, right?
Yeah.
Then A, right? Travis didn't do that much.
What would he do?
He still played the E.
He would just wash it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's such a beautiful difference. You know, it's almost like this is Tennessee, this is Louisiana, or
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Wait, so can you take us one variation further, maybe harmonically or technically with Freight Train? So you've got that first version.
Yeah. Okay.
And what's the next
Okay.
step?
So the next step would be when you go to the G, when the melody goes, da, 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 I would go to a D minor, and I would use that instead of, right? I would use D minor, G, G7 with a ninth in it, then C, then E. Now, instead of going straight to the F, now it's a little harder. A minor. I would do more passing chords.
That's what
So-
I've seen you do online.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that you're still playing the melody, right? But you're making it more interesting. So if you learn the simple version and you can actually play it in time with some nice feeling and get the melody out, great. Okay. Once you got used to that, now let's dress it up so it's a little more attractive. You know what I mean? So we'll do da, da, da. Then the next time around, we may now play the melody down the octave. And then this. Now we may throw a little blues lick in, or a little variation, and that makes a simple song like that interesting all the way.
So if you're sitting down and you're playing your arrangement of Freight Train and you're thinking to yourself, how do I spice this up? How do I make it my own?
Mm-hmm.
In summary, how are you playing? Are you playing with anticipating the melody in different ways? Are you figuring out different chords you can overlay? How do you
just
think
what
about
I
it?
showed you then?
Yeah.
But what I would probably do I would try to do something that people wouldn't expect. Like I would start the song in C, play it 2 times round, then I go to E, and play it in E, right? And I would use like. Then I switch back to it. I would do a key change and do something that was unexpected, and so surprise equals entertainment.
Tommy.